Hello friends, welcome to our series on international relations. Today we will cover the topic India-Russia relation under the following heads: timeline of Indo-Russia relations, features, aspects, facts and figures, and current status, including challenges, convergence, and way forward. As we start with the timeline, initially Russia viewed India as a tool of Anglo-American imperialism, but after the death of Stalin in 1953, the Soviet Union, then USSR, showed interest in India. It had agreement on friendly cooperation with India. They did this for two major reasons. First was to expand contacts. Secondly, they wanted to include non-aligned countries of Afro-Asian region. After the 1953 friendly cooperation, by 1955, long-term government-to-government programs were started. This was mainly due to Nehru's visit to Soviet Union and comprises following dimensions. Firstly, under foreign affairs, they endorsed India's position on Jammu and Kashmir. Under economic aspect, they induced industrial development in India, provided trade in non-convertible national currencies, and in defense, Indian acquisition of Soviet military equipment was under rupee ruble system. All this helped India to gain the technological expertise and reap the benefit of industrial revolution. Next in the line is 1971's Indo-Soviet Treaty of Peace, Friendship and Cooperation. This treaty helped India to safeguard its security, sovereignty and territorial integrity. It was fruitful during the time of 1971 Indo-Pak War, where China was refrained to get involved due to Russian pressure. But by the year 1990-1991, USSR was disintegrated and Russia became weak. Its economy was just half of India's, but India still continued its external balancing strategy but at the same time diversified its resources. This is the time when India tried to establish relationships with China and RIC trilateral was formed against the US-led unipolar world. But China lacked faith in India's capabilities, thus this trilateral was not as fruitful. And we can see the economic liberalization of 1991. Through this, India approached USA and got integrated into the existing economic order. In 2016, we see a partnership for global peace and stability. In 2021, we see our Prime Minister Modi visited the Eastern Economic Forum. Thus, Russia is a close ally to India in the international sphere. The feature of this strategic partnership include desirable international order, strong political foundation, extensive military cooperation, and similar opinion on regional and international security. India has reaped benefits in following aspects. Politically, in 1947, Russia was the first country to recognize India's independence. In economic sphere, it helped India to formulate its 5-year plans and provided loan, helped in establishment of IIT Bombay in 1958, formation of oil and natural gas company, and also in civil nuclear cooperation. As we can see, nearly 70% of Indian Army's armaments, 80% of Air Force system, and 85% of its naval platforms are of Soviet origin. But in the last decade, Indian military purchase from Russia has steadily declined by 33% between the year 2011-15 and 2016-20. This can be due to the current dynamics in the international order, as we can see a US hegemony and closer India-US relations. Also, the divergence in Indian-Russian policies, like Russia is going to east, pivot to east, whereas India is hedging to west. Also, Russia is under the pressure of China because economic relations with China are essential for its prosperity. Also, they both are quite antagonistic towards the USA. Though India is quite inclined towards US and not as much towards China, but Moscow maintains a neutral relation with both. As we can say, Russia is powerful enough to maintain relationship with both, but not strong enough to choose between them. All this forces India to not get completely dependent on Russia and continue its diplomatic policy. But at last, to conclude, I would say the relations are quite unique, confiding, and mutually beneficial by nature, encompassing all possible areas of cooperation due to the fact that they both share similar civilizational values and are formed on the base of time-tested friendship, mutual understanding, common interest, and like-minded attitude on fundamental issue of development and economic progress. Thank you friends. Hopefully you find this video informative. So do share it with your friends and do like and subscribe to the channel.